time for the Praise Report, a media ministry of Heartland Christian Center. Many have been touched physically, spiritually, and emotionally while enjoying the program. And now, here's Pastor John.
How many of you in this room are eligible to vote? Make sure you do. How do you vote? Biblical. We are recording this about a week or so ago. How many of you saw the State of the Union address with President Trump? Did you all get to see it? If you did not get to see it, you can go online. I'm sure you can go online and see it online, right? Watch it from the beginning and end. I've seen quite a few of them. And this was, in my opinion, the best State of the Union address that I've ever seen. If you really cared about the country, if you really cared about the babies, if you really cared about the things of God, you should have liked what he said. You should have liked what he said, because he said things that any God-fearing, USA-loving person would want to hear. The economy doing better than ever. Unemployment for all ethnic backgrounds is doing better than ever. The trade deals with Canada and Mexico and China and other nations are doing better than ever. Woo! You should have liked what he said. And then they had the woman in white night. You saw the woman in white with the frowning faces? And I could just say to myself, God help Congress. And when you know some of the people that are in there, it's scary. But let me tell you what's really scary about it. And what's sad about it, somebody voted for them people. That's what's hard to believe. How somebody voted for these people who want open borders and want to kill babies, late birth, abortion. My Lord, help us. Well, I saw a thing here on Facebook, and I shared it. So I'm only telling you what it says. How many have heard of Geraldo? In my opinion, he's a real character. In my opinion, Geraldo, you are overrated, you are overpaid, and now it looks like you're crazy too. So I hope he sees this, by the way. He don't care about what I say, and I don't care much about what he says, but he's agreeing with this Cortez lady. Let me just read it from here. He's being interviewed, and it says, I am, as you know, a fan of, what's her name? Alexandria or Cortez? Okay. He says, she represents a district in which 3 of my grandchildren reside. She represents much of the borough of Queens, which is they say Immigration Center of America, Riviera said. 138 languages are spoken in that borough. And an estimated of 300,000 residents in the borough are undocumented immigrants. And he says, what do you think about the deal? The host replied. And here's what he says. I think it is idealistic. It's aspirational, he replied, Geraldo replied. It's kind of a future thing. It's a wish list. A wish list? Socialism, Geraldo, is your wish list? Oh, it gets better. Yes. Inspire for total control? They announces that they interviewed her. You aspire a support for people that don't work? The host asked him, Brian asked him. No. You aspire to get rid of pollution, Brian. You aspire to get rid of the traffic. You aspire to make the world environmentally a place where it is sustainable, Geraldo replied. He also thinks every home in the Southwest and Puerto Rico should be mandated by Big Brother and have solar power, as somebody said. He said, this is a step when people see this, which is undonable. People see that it is crazy. And then the guy goes on to say, it's a cap-in for commies. At least we know how crazy Geraldo actually is. The bone that I had to pick with him was in the Iraq War when he got on television and was telling everybody what our next move was. Well, they kicked him out of the country for that because an element in the military is the element of surprise. You don't tell the enemy what you're going to do. That's what Obama did. You don't tell the enemy what you're going to do. But here's what I want to say. They want to get rid of airplanes. They want to get rid of oil, coal. They want to put all the people in the coal business, the oil business, the gas. They want to put everybody in business. Where does this woman get these ideas from? And not only her, other people in white that was with her with the frowning faces. You know, it's insane. You all know what insanity is, right? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting to change. Well, how many countries have done, and how many times have we seen socialism over and over and over, and what it does to people and what it does to countries? Well, if you want to keep America great and make it greater, then join people like me who vote Bible. I am a conservative capitalist. How somebody, for the life of me, would want to take a child and mother's womb, carry it for 9 months, and kill it for money, to sell body parts? This is barbaric. How do you say it? Barbaric. Yes, barbaric. Well, I don't want that. Now, here's what I'm saying. A lot of the people that are not as intelligent as me try to make fun of, now I make that sarcastic, that sounded like Rush Limbaugh right there, but a lot of the people that don't understand and try to come against Trump because they didn't win the Congress don't understand that there are people like you who vote for the opposite person when a president's in there because you think it's balanced and all it does is stop anything from happening. It's basically what you created. But we knew that they would lose the Congress and prayerfully conservative capitalists would keep the Senate, and they did. But here's what I'm saying. Fear not. Fear not. Until the Lord tarries, the good thing that you all have going for you is there'll be another election. And 2020 is coming. This president has done more to back up Israel and to back up Christianity than any president that I've ever seen. Vocally. Let me tell you what I'm excited about that. This country was on its way to hell in a basket. You cannot take prayer to school, support demonic things, and then cry out and expect God to bless you. God has to be the Lord of all. And his name is not Allah. His name is not Hare Krishna. His name is not Buddha. His name is Jesus. And when you put prayer back in school, you're putting God back in school. It's amazing to me they want to take Bibles out of school, then beg us to bring Bibles to the prisons. There'll be less people in prison. You want to take the Ten Commandments out. You want to take prayer out of school. You want to take people, protect them from the Second Amendment and so on and so forth. No, 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 no. We're seeing a turnaround. And I am glad, by the grace of God, that I am going to be alive between the years of 2020 and then some. I used to think I would live and preach till I was 110 years old. Now with all that God's given me and a young, beautiful wife, I'll be at least 120. I'm going to be like Moses. At least 120. Her and the other ones that she always hangs around with, and some of them running for president coming up, they're the best things that the Republicans have going for them. I mean, Corrie ten Boom said this, I believe it was, that people wouldn't know how stupid you were if you didn't open your mouth. Well, these knights in shining armor come along, they say stupid thing, and they attract the media to get attention, and they get more publicity, and every time they open their mouth, they say another stupid thing to show their ignorance. Socialism don't work. Taking God out of America does not work. But here's what we have to do, conservatives that want this. I was watching another thing. I'm almost done. I was watching another survey they did about celebrities and told who they voted for. And it showed who voted for Hillary and who voted for Trump. And these are celebrities. And you know, when you look at it, there was basically 50-50. But here's the problem. The conservative actors and athletes and celebrities didn't voice their opinion like the liberal ones did. They got in the Grammy, and F Trump and F this and F America and all of this other stuff. Yeah, they got all the attention. And the other ones are afraid to say much because they're not going to get the positions or the jobs or whatever. No, no, no. And there are a lot of people of color, of every ethnic background. I don't care if you're white skin, pink skin, brown skin, dark skin, I don't care. But many are afraid to say anything. You don't want to argue with your family. You don't want to talk politics at the table. You don't want to get trouble on the job. You know what? The liberals have no problem opening their mouth. It's time for God's people to come out of our hold and speak the truth and tell people why it is important to vote Bible. Because that's what it's all about, my friends. They want to stop us from the freedom of speech. They want to take away your arms so they can control you. We cannot let that happen. We have to be able to preach the truth because it will lead people to salvation. So I am a conservative capitalist, and I have a whole slew of programs on my YouTube channel and Facebook called Things to Consider Before You Vote. And I do want to say this. Those in this room remember some years ago when I did a series, Socialism versus Capitalism. I started that series before these people were even heard of. They were still bartenders in New York. That's what she was before she became this, you know. My. Never know who you're going to meet at the bar. So I'm not trying to be mean or cruel. I'm saying this. Watch, let me finish by saying this. Unguarded strength becomes a double weakness. We conservatives cannot look back and say, how stupid. Nobody's going to vote for that. Who wants to kill the babies? Who wants to do this? So you cannot do that. You got to come out of your holes and preach the gospel. Lead people to Jesus and lead them to vote conservative. Lead them to vote Bible. I know they tell you they're Christians, but you cannot. How can you be a Christian and vote for things like this and support people like that? You got blood on your hands when you do that. No. We got to come out. You got to come out. Because here's the thing. I just read your thing about Geraldo. You all know he's an attorney. We all know he makes a lot of money. Right? If people like this can be so deceived to back up somebody like that, what about all the others who don't make that kind of money? So pray for him. In the meantime, we're going to vote biblical. Amen. Watch the videos, things to consider before you vote. Watch the series I have, Socialism versus Capitalism, and prepare, because this is what I perceive. I perceive that conservatives are going to keep the White House. I perceive that conservatives are going to keep the Senate. I perceive that conservatives are going to get back to Congress. Woo! And by doing that, they're going to appoint more conservative judges, and they're going to take this country back, and we're going to take it back for the glory of God. Friends, we're possessing the land, but there's a fight. Don't think, because in the past I thought nobody would vote for that person, and I was shocked when there was that many stupid people in America. Don't say somebody else is going to do it. Here's what else I perceive. A lot of the people who didn't vote conservative in the past, but they still can't bring themselves up to doing it, they're not going to go to the polls at all, except for the ones that are going to go for publicity stunts. We're going to take this country back, and I'm so glad that I am going to be around from 2020 and many years after, by the grace of God, because when that happens, God's going to open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing on America. You think the economy is good now? You haven't seen anything, my friend. We're out of time.